Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RotoBaller Radio Waiver Wire Series as we take a look at the Week 15 Waiver Wire 4 pitchers, the week beginning Monday, July 5th. All right, everybody. Happy to be with you here today. I'm Anthony Aniano, your host. And guys, don't forget, head over to rotoballer.com right now. Main page, premium package, the expert chats. Whether it's season-long or DFS formats, rotoballer.com is the place to be. Football, baseball, basketball, MMA, esports, NASCAR, PGA, and sports betting. rotoballer.com has it all covered. And don't forget, sign up now for any premium package. Whether it's football for the rest of the way or the upcoming fantasy football season, sign up for the premium package, use the promo code ACES, and save yourself some money along the way. And guys, don't forget, weekly fantasy baseball is here. If you love the strategy of season-long fantasy sports, live for the short-term excitement of DFS, then be sure to try out weekly fantasy baseball contests on Owner's Box. Head over to rotoballer.com/box and sign up today. Our friends at Owner's Box are hooking you up. All new users get up to a $500 deposit match bonus and a free RotoBaller Premium Pass valued at $99. We'll be hosting weekly free roll events on Owner's Box as well, which are free to enter with lots of awesome prizes to the winners. Head on over to rotoballer.com/box for all the details and sign up today. All right, everybody. Hopefully you already watched the hitter video. If you haven't, go check it out right here on the RotoBaller YouTube channel. And now it's time to talk about some pitchers and injuries and the Trevor Bauer situation. We know some of us are losing some key pitchers, whether for their own misbehavior or due to injury. Let's be honest about it. So we have to take a look at the waiver wire. I have 4 starters and 4 relievers, a couple of closers, a couple of potential closers who can help you out as the season rolls along. Let's start with the starting pitching. Merrill Kelly of the Arizona Diamondbacks. A few years ago, pitching, I believe, in the Korean Baseball League. Now pitching for the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks, a terrible team, but you could still find some value here and there. And Kelly, right now, at only 13% rostered on Yahoo, is pitching to a level that he's usable. Over the last 14 days, 3 starts, 20 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, 7.65 Ks per 9 innings. However, over those 20 innings, he's pitching to an ERA of 1.80 and a whip of 0.90. Can't ignore those numbers. In those 3 starts, in those 20 innings, 3 wins. We don't chase him, but Merrill Kelly is accumulating those wins. He's up to 5 wins now on the season. Next start, July 8th, in Arizona against the Colorado Rockies. On the season now, 89 strikeouts and 98 in the 3rd inning. He's striking out about 21.5% of the batters he's facing. ERA on the season is 4.67. His expected ERA a little lower than that at 4.29. And opponents are hitting 262 against him. Is he your ace? No. Is he usable in the right spot? Yes. If you feel comfortable, because it's not in Colorado, using him against that Rockies offense, his next start is July 8th. Now, my next pitcher, Johnny Cueto. Veteran, we've been around the block more than once, former fantasy ace for the San Francisco Giants. 38% rostered. Over the last 14 days, I'll say, 16 strikeouts in 18 innings, 8 Ks per 9, pitching to an ERA of 4, not only over the last 14 days, but also on the season. Whip is at 1.11. Listen, he's not an ace. He's not an ace anymore. But the one thing he is doing, pitching for that very good Giants team, he's getting you wins. He's got 6 wins on the season. You can now, at this point, if you're looking at your rotisserie standings saying, I need wins. My ERA is great. My whip is great. I have saves. I'm just lacking in wins. Well, now we got to start adding pitchers from teams that are in 1st and 2nd place. And the Giants are a terrific team, shockingly. So Johnny Cueto's got 6 wins on the season with a great team right now in the San Francisco Giants. His next start is a winnable one, July 6th against the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, he doesn't strike out a ton. Only about 19% of the batters he's facing. And like I said, the ERA is at 4. He is what he is at this point. But if he gives you 5-6 innings, 3 runs, the ERA is going to be a little high. But the Giants put him in a position to get the W. So take a look at your standings. Now, before I mention my next 2 pitchers, 2 young kids, 2 rookies, I usually record on a Saturday. However, today I'm recording Friday. It's July 2nd. Both of these pitchers are pitching against each other Saturday, July 3rd. So I say them both with a weary eye, a leery eye, I should say, leery eye, and let's see how they do Saturday. But if they both pitch well, or if one dominates and one doesn't, adjust your waiver claims accordingly before Sunday night, Monday morning. And that's Zach Thompson of the Miami Marlins and Kyle Muller of the Atlanta Braves. Now, Zach Thompson, the lesser of the two prospects, so we'll start with him, 27 years old, 32% rostered, and he's looked great. A lot of strikeouts early, right? 18 strikeouts in his last 10 games over the last 14 days. And on the season, only pitched 18 innings this season. That's over 4 starts. But over those 18 innings, he has 25 strikeouts. On the season, he's striking out 34% of the batters he's faced. Just a number you have to pay attention to. 16.2 Ks per 9 over his last 10 innings. Now, his ERA over the last 14 days, over those last 10 innings, is at 0.9. On the season, it's at 1.5. Okay? Expected ERA is at 3.33. So even with that unbelievable 1.5 ERA, the expected ERA is still very, very good. Opponents are hitting only 185 against Zach Thompson of the Miami Marlins. He has 2 wins on the season. And like I said, his next start, Saturday, July 3rd, against Atlanta in Atlanta. Now, his opponent in that matchup is Kyle Muller of the Atlanta Braves, the 2016 second-round pick. All right? Now, Muller, 27% rostered. He throws 3 pitches primarily. Fastball about 50% of the time. Slider 25%. A curveball about 20%. Mixes in a changeup about 4.5 to 5% of the time. Very similar to Zach Thompson. Zach Thompson is a fastball cutter curveball pitcher with a little sprinkle of a changeup. Okay, Zach Thompson throws about 93. Muller a little bit harder, about 95 miles per hour. Now, Kyle Muller, over the last 14 days, 9 innings pitched. On the season, he only has 10 innings pitched for Atlanta. Okay, 13 strikeouts in 10 innings pitched. An ERA on the season of 2.70. He has struck out 32.5% of the batters he's faced. And that's what makes both Thompson and Muller intriguing, is the percentage of batters they're striking out right now are over 30%. Zach Thompson, batting average against was 185. Kyle Muller, batting average against is 171. They go against each other July 3rd, okay? Fun matchup, right? Who comes out? Do they both pitch great? Do they both become priority ads? Does one pitch better than the other and becomes a higher priority? Watch that game on Saturday. I'll be watching, and let's see how that breaks down. I would recommend putting both in as a waiver claim, and then on Sunday, but let's see how they do Saturday in terms of ranking them. I will say this, though. Both of these pitchers are higher ranked for me than over Merrill Kelly and Johnny Cueto. Kelly is 3, Cueto is 4. I'm putting the 2 young kids 1 and 2. Let's see what happens Saturday, July 3rd, when I rank them accordingly after their performance. Now, let's slide back to the bullpen, and we'll talk about saves first. If you're hunting down saves, okay, Greg Holland of the Kansas City Royals has 2 saves over the last 14 days. 29% rostered, so he's widely available. 6 1/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, and a 2.84 ERA with those 2 saves over the last 14 days. On the season, his ERA is a tad over 4, and his expected ERA is over 5, so he's been hittable. Batting average against sits at 230. He does have 5 saves this year, and right now slotted to be the closer for the Kansas City Royals. So if you're hunting saves, Greg Holland, 29% available. Also, if you're hunting saves, we revisit Cincinnati, which it seems like we've been talking about every week. Lucas Sims, TJ Anton, both IL. Last week I brought up Brad Brock, but right now Amir Garrett, who everybody thought in spring training was going to be the closer, and then he was terrible. He's pitching very well of late and has 2 saves over the last 14 days. Over his last 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, an ERA of 0, and a whip of 0.80. Now, you look big picture, it's ugly. His ERA is 7.4. His expected ERA is just on the 4.98, and his whip is over 1.5. Batting average against is 250. So there's a lot of ugly there when you look big picture. But if you shrink it down of late, okay, 2 of his 5 saves over the last 14 days, 5 innings. Okay, 7 strikeouts. And again, he's still striking batters out on the season, 31 Ks in 24 and a third innings, but getting saves right now for Cincinnati and pitching significantly better than he did earlier in the season. 42% rostered on Yahoo. Now, a lot of rumor that Rich Rodriguez, the Pittsburgh Pirates closer, can be moved or will be moved before the trade deadline. If you have Rich Rodriguez on your roster, take a look at Kyle Crick of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, 1% rostered. He's pitched well. WHIP is at 1.5. His ERA on the season is his ERA on the last 14 days is at 5.4, but on the season his ERA sits at 2.57, and his batting average against on the season is only 1.08. Now, he doesn't have any saves, but right now he's really their 8th inning guy and potentially next in line to close if Rodriguez gets traded. The problem with Kyle Crick is he could also be traded, right? Pittsburgh's going nowhere, so any value they could get from any of these bullpen arms, they might as well take advantage of. All right, on the season, he's striking out 21.8% of the batters he's faced, 19 strikeouts in 21 innings. But again, Rodriguez is your guy. He goes somewhere. He could end up being in a setup role. Kyle Crick could potentially pick up a save or two if you're desperate in that category. And the final pitcher I want to mention is the dominant middle reliever I love talking about. And I was shocked that I saw this guy's name come up on my list today, but it's time I pay attention to him. And that's Paul Sewald of the Seattle Mariners. 31-year-old Paul Sewald. Paul Sewald, who was with my New York Mets for 4 years, and literally his job was to serve batting practice to the Mets opponents. That's how bad he was. Well, he's made some adjustments, and he is flat out dominant right now for the Seattle Mariners. 5% rostered, so there are a small sprinkle of people paying attention to him. On the year, he's got 5 wins and a save. Over the last 14 days, 2 wins and a save. His last 6 2/3 innings, he has 15 strikeouts. Okay, 20.3 Ks per 9 innings. Hasn't given up an earned run in those 6 2/3. On the season, 38 strikeouts in 21 2/3 innings. Just astronomical numbers. 42.7% of the batters he has faced this season, Paul Sewald has struck out. Okay, his ERA on the year is at 1.66. His expected ERA is at 2.82. His batting average against is 1.41. So you can't hit him, and almost 43% of the batters he faces have gone down on strikes. Now, what's changed? Essentially, he has eliminated the changeup from his repertoire that he threw with the Mets. He's a 2-pitch pitcher right now for Seattle, and it's making a huge difference. He's throwing his fastball about 55% of the time, about 92 miles an hour, and he's upped his slider usage by about 12%, up to about 45% of the time. That change, that increase in the slider usage, has changed everything for Paul Sewald of the Seattle Mariners. He has become a dominant 7th, 8th inning reliever, whereas Rafael Montero has struggled. Kendall Graveman's been great in the 9th inning role. Sewald has become the second most important arm alongside Kendall Graveman in that Seattle bullpen. All right, everybody. Make sure you check out the Waiver Wire Hitter video. Follow me on Twitter at Aniano Fantasy, and we'll see you next time right here on RotoBaller Radio. Stay smart, stay safe. Have a good one, folks.